Welcome again to Shangri-La Medical Cannabis Dispensaries. This is the third episode in our series about your first visit to the dispensary. We invite you to view the first two episodes that describe what you should bring with you and what you should expect during your dispensary visit. My name is Dr. Denise Foster, and I am the Director of Patient Education. I am one of the cannabis health professionals who are available to answer any questions or concerns you may have beyond those that our floor staff can answer. We are here to help you achieve your wellness goals and work with you to help you obtain maximum benefits while using medical cannabis. This episode reviews important health resources available in our dispensaries and introduces you to our administrative and cannabis healthcare professionals. So why should you consult with a medical marijuana healthcare professional? At Shangri-La, we believe that you should have the best medical marijuana care available, and that includes the opportunity to meet with a healthcare professional who has advanced knowledge about cannabis as medicine. Chronic, long-term medical conditions are typically accompanied by symptoms that may be treatable using medical cannabis. However, there may also be interactions with prescription drugs that should be considered and reviewed with a healthcare professional. It is important to discuss what to watch for when adding medical marijuana to your health treatment plan. Additionally, each cannabis administration method comes with pros and cons. Working with a medical marijuana healthcare professional will help you maximize the benefits and reduce the adverse effects associated with medical marijuana. When you meet with one of our cannabis healthcare professionals, you receive individualized care and a treatment plan that is created just for you. During your visit to Shangri-La, you will be assisted by a patient consultant who can answer many of your questions about medical marijuana use. If you have additional questions or concerns, or you would like to meet with one of our cannabis healthcare professionals, you can make an appointment during your visit. These healthcare professional consultations are free of charge and provided to you as a service of Shangri-La. Meetings are available for in-person or virtual consultations, and your privacy is always guaranteed. Just ask your patient consultant to schedule an appointment for you with either our cannabis physician or cannabis nurse during your visit. By incorporating the services of cannabis healthcare professionals in our dispensary, Shangri-La can provide you with the most current, safe information regarding our medical marijuana products. Cannabis research has multiplied in the past few years, and our cannabis healthcare professionals make it a priority to keep up with the latest research so that you can be sure you are receiving the most individualized, up-to-date knowledge and care regarding your use of medical marijuana. Now a few words about Shangri-La's administrative and medical staff. Our Chief Executive Officer is Nevil Patel. Moving to Columbia, Missouri from India at the age of 16, Nevil Patel reached the States with little knowledge and understanding of the English language, but after prioritizing education and integrity in business, he has owned and operated several successful convenience stores in multiple Missouri cities. Nevil obtained his Bachelor's of Science from Lincoln University in Jefferson City, Missouri, and his Master's of Business Administration with a focus on finance from Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri. Through his experience with his businesses, Nevil was asked to be one of the few to join the Missouri Lottery Retail Advisory Committee in 2012, where he still acts as a deciding factor for changes and improvements to maximize revenue for the Missouri Lottery while also focusing on making the retailer's role easier. Aside from growing multiple Missouri community economies with new retail stores, Nevil kept up with his family's tradition by giving portions of his profits back into the community by donating to local churches, schools, and youth programs. Nevil has donated quarterly to the Mother Teresa's Orphanage Group since 2012. This organization provides food, shelter, and education to orphan kids internationally, including India, where a childhood friend of Nevil became an orphan at the age of 10, inspiring him to support this organization as an adult with the success to make giving back possible. Locally, Nevil's family purchased the Oxford House Leslie in Columbia, Missouri, after an employee shared that the residents there received the help they needed to fight addiction to drugs and alcohol. The previous operator had decided to close the Oxford House Leslie, but after hearing the positive outcomes of the residents helping each other fight addiction and recover, Nevil knew he needed to ensure that this resource remained available to those in the community who needed it. To do this, he saw no income from the property while paying for the bank mortgage and repairs from his own personal funds. Nevil was proud to do so, seeing the house created not only a safe space for those in need, but also added important employment opportunities to the local job market. A marijuana physician is a doctor with all the rights and privileges to practice in Missouri. This type of physician is experienced in medical practice and is no different from any other doctor you see, except that they are willing and qualified to recommend medical marijuana. Just like with any other drug, doctors who recommend marijuana are required by their profession to research its proven uses and be aware of any side effects it can cause. A doctor who is cavalier in recommending any controlled substance is potentially risking their patient's health and their license to practice medicine. Shangri-La's cannabis physician may perform many practice activities. These include examine patients who smoke marijuana for physical conditions such as pulmonary function and immune status, comply with any and all state initiatives to track marijuana sources in patients using it for medical purposes, know the patient's marijuana and other drug use history, including addiction concerns, counsel the patient on the risks of medical marijuana, both short-term and long-term, obtain training or certification in marijuana as medicine, review medical marijuana uses and dosing recommendations, confirm that other methods of treatment were tried and failed, and be sure the marijuana sourced contains the regulated standard THC levels and no contaminants. Dr. Purvi Patel is Shangri-La's Chief Medical Director. Dr. Patel was born and raised in Jefferson City, Missouri. She completed her primary and secondary education within the Jefferson City public school system and graduated from the University of Missouri with a Bachelor's of Liberal Arts and Doctor of Medicine. Dr. Patel is a board-certified internal medicine physician who has been practicing outpatient medicine at Capital Region Medical Center in Jefferson City, Missouri for the past 4 years. Upon questions and discussions with patients regarding medical marijuana, Dr. Patel decided to investigate further into this growing field. She researched about the uses and benefits of medical marijuana and traveled to dispensaries in Colorado, Nevada, and California to further her education. Back home, Dr. Patel followed the legalization movement in Missouri. She completed and was certified in a medical education course regarding the use of medical cannabis. When traveling to India, Dr. Patel looks forward to spending time with the children at the Mother Teresa Orphanage and helping them with reading and writing, while volunteering health advice when necessary. As Shangri-La's cannabis physician, Dr. Patel is available to meet one-on-one with individuals to discuss their needs related to medical marijuana. According to the American Cannabis Nurses Association, cannabis nursing is defined as nursing care that incorporates knowledge of the endocannabinoid system, endocannabinoids that are made by our own bodies, cannabinoids like THC and CBD from cannabis plants, and understand how to safely use cannabis products. Cannabis nurses must also be aware of the legal complexities associated with the use of cannabis products and understand each state's medical marijuana regulations. At Shangri-La, your first encounter with a cannabis professional will be when you work with your patient consultant, who will educate and guide your selection of cannabis. Your patient consultant will help you find the appropriate strain of cannabis to meet your medical needs and provide you with education regarding administration routes, dosage, and potential adverse and beneficial effects. However, your patient consultant is not trained in medical sciences and does not know the potential interactions with pharmaceutical prescriptions or other elements that may need to be discussed. These important considerations should be addressed by a qualified medical professional working with the dispensary. A cannabis nurse is uniquely responsible to take everything into account regarding a patient's care. This nursing practice incorporates psychological considerations, mental health concerns, pre-existing conditions, medication reconciliation, and most of all, education. Cannabis nurses educate patients and collaborate with recommending doctors and other medical professionals. Because of the numerous medical conditions for which this plant is beneficial, you can be confident that a cannabis nurse is available at Shangri-La to work with you to address these intricate issues. Being a cannabis nurse means many things. Nurses have the professional and ethical obligation to advocate and educate patients and peers. Every patient deserves a trusted advocate, as more research provides insight into how cannabis can be used therapeutically to prevent and treat many disease conditions. I am Shangri-La's cannabis nurse. I have practiced professional nursing for over 35 years. I obtained my bachelor's and master's degrees in nursing from Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, and my PhD in teaching in higher education from Regent University in Virginia Beach. I have practiced in acute and community settings, and I also currently teach in higher education settings, providing nursing instruction to students in associate, baccalaureate, RN to BSN, and graduate degree nursing programs. I am a certified nurse educator through the National League for Nurses. For the past several years, I have been practicing as a cannabis nurse, providing medical cannabis education, research, and consultation to patients, families, and healthcare practitioners, as well as my community. As an author, I contributed to the first medical cannabis textbook for nurses that was published in January 2021. I also authored the first course for the nation's first college-accredited academic medical cannabis certificate program. I most recently served on the board of directors of the American Cannabis Nurses Association as secretary. I currently own and operate Hemp Haven, a retail CBD store where I educate and coach individuals on the use of hemp-derived compounds. As one of Shangri-La's cannabis healthcare professionals, I am available to meet one-on-one with you to discuss your needs related to medical marijuana. Once again, we'd like to thank you for watching our episodes. At Shangri-La, our entire staff are committed to helping you achieve your wellness goals, and we will work with you to ensure that your cannabis use is safe and effective. We look forward to serving you at one of our 5 dispensary locations and providing you with the highest quality services and cannabis products.